16:33. Hello there, Pastafarians. Me, it's Goose from H. Here I am at 16th Street and Stout. As you can see, there's no one here preaching. This is where I met our friends 2 weeks ago. I already checked the place where we were last week and there was no one there. So, they talk a big game on Facebook. Those chimes over there just told me it was 12 noon, and here we are in Denver. Checked both places, I didn't see no one. I did see another guy, so maybe I'll go have a conversation with him, but looks like they delayed the debate. Like, the moderator didn't want to come up, but I told them that if they were still going to be here, I'd talk to them, and they gave me a thumbs up. Thought it meant they'd be here, but here it is. Here's the time. Unless they've been arrested, there are some police officers over there. Who knows if they've been arrested? I'll go ask, I guess. 28:54. Well, Pastafarians, here I am at the, oh, wait. I fucked up the button. I pushed the button, sorry about that. Here I am at, the location where we were last week. I was at the other location at noon, and then I walked here, and I didn't see them in the interim. You can look down there and see if they've shown up. I don't know. Maybe they're arrested, I don't know. I don't get my Facebook out here, so can't really tell. Sorry about that. My arm's tired from lugging my box up and down this road. I think they're trying to wear me out. Every time I come here, they've got new tactics. I think this time they're just going to forget all about me. So I think that's it. I think when I saw that I was cluing wise to their tactics, that I had picked up their tools, and so they just don't show up. I had heard that the moderator isn't going to be here, but I thought that Joseph and Steve were going to be here, so that's a bummer. Anyway, I guess I'll walk up and down again for the next couple hours with my very, very heavy box of tools. Hopefully they'll show up. We'll see if they apologize even for being late. Who knows? The good guys never apologize, right? Anyway, I'll stay here. I'll conserve the battery. Hopefully they'll show up. Still got 90 minutes. That'd be nice to get a 90-minute conversation in still today. There's still time. It's only noon. Come on down, Joseph. $46.08. Alright, well here I am at another location that I thought we might meet at, but they're not here either. It's past 12:30 and I've been lugging all my stuff around. I brought quite a bit with me this time. So I'm quite tired and dehydrated, and I'm disobeying the fifth again today, so I suppose it's a blessing that I won't be debating, because disobeying the fifth twice is 4 times as bad if my math works out correctly. Alright, sorry it's so low energy, I'm just so exhausted from the walk they're making me do. And I keep sort of hearing voices that I worry are amplified, and I go check and they're not them, so I'll go check another one around this way, and then I'm headed back up to Stout to see if they're there. Alright, well here I am at Stout again. No sign of them. Neither hide nor hair. To be honest, they always surprise me, with their moves. They're not the moves I thought were coming, so they do keep me on their toes. Definitely thought that tons of people would be here, judging by their Facebook last night. They're probably streaming from somewhere else live right now, laughing at me, being in the wrong place, even though this is where I met them, and I've checked where we debated last week, and they're not there. Anyway, here I go, carrying my shit again. 107.05. Alright, well here I am, back where we had our debate last week. I checked Stout a couple times, checked this place 3 times I think this is, and can't find the ecclesia anywhere. Said they're going to be out here no matter what. But like, here I am, no one's telling me not to be here, so where the fuck are these guys, right? Anyway, I guess I'm gonna head home. Can't find them. Maybe I'll sit here for a while. I don't know. I'll let you know. I came all the way out here, right? Parking's not cheap, even during the fucking epidemic.
Jesus said that the world will lie
Steve.
and play with the wicked ones. But I tell you now, Jesus Christ, He paid for the sin of the entire world. And He wants to,
What's your game, man?
He wants you to choose
What's your game?
the life that He's prepared for each
Cool,
and
so
every
not
one of
debating.
you.
No, I never said
I
I
tell
was
you
you
now,
don't want to debate.
Jesus Christ
I was never said to
wants
debate
His
you.
You
payment
did though. I have it on record.
I
to
did.
cover your lives.
I did.
Yeah, did you watch the video?
Hey man,
Which one?
repent.
The one where I called you an idiot and I said, do you want to debate it? And you said, yeah. And I said, who shall be our moderator? And you said, you're fine with Russell. You don't remember saying those words?
In Jesus' name.
If you watch the
I'll go watch the
video,
video.
yeah, you might remember the words you
in
said.
Jesus' name.
Are you John?
No, I'm Merlin.
Are you John?
If you repent, man, Jesus will save
Are
you.
you John?
If
Are
you
you
repent, Jesus Christ will
Are you
save
John?
your soul, man.
I'm looking for
You'll
John.
never
He
have
said
to
he'd debate me. Are you
drink
John?
We just met
You'll
him.
never have
cool.
to thirst again.
Are you from Ohio?
I'm from Iowa.
Iowa, and you came
Hey,
here
guys,
to preach
but
in my
again,
town?
My Christian
like I
brother.
said,
Cool. You're not from Denver, are you?
I'm gonna keep
These
my
guys
word.
are
I'm
from
gonna.
Denver. Why
I'm
did you
gonna
come to
move
my
on.
town to preach
I love
live?
you guys, each and every one of you.
Did you hear the
Jesus
debate
Christ
that I had
loves
with
you.
this guy last
I
week?
watched
If you
it,
guys
yes.
want
Cool.
a Bible,
So why don't you
a
want to
word
debate
of God
me?
that
Why
can
did you
set
come here to
free,
preach
we
in
have
my
some
town
up here.
instead of
If
debate
you
in my
need some
town? Why'd you
prayer,
come here
we
to
have
preach?
some up here.
Because everyone
Come
needs to
and,
hear the
and,
truth.
and hear
Cool,
those,
you need to hear the
you know,
truth, and I
because
have it. Are you
I
ready?
don't say this
Are
lightly,
you
but
ready
I
to
had
hear the
demons.
truth?
I've already received the truth.
I had a
No, you've
demon
not.
of depression.
You've received lies and you brought them here to
Controlling my
preach.
life, I had a
If
demon
you really
of
want
anxiety.
truth, allow me to give it to you.
Controlling
Do you
my
have
life,
5
I had
minutes
a
for the
demon of
truth?
addiction.
I don't have time for
controlling my life. I
to
tell
be
you this now.
tricked
There
or
was a
deceived.
demon
I'm
that
not going to
I
trick
feared
you and
letting
deceive you.
go
I'm
with
going to
all
free
my
you from the
life.
slavery
I've
of your
already
mind.
received the truth. I
No,
know I'm
what
done.
you
There was
are
a
is a
demon that I
slave.
feared
I'd
letting
really
go
like to
the
debate
truth.
you today. Are
with
you
all
going to
of my
debate
life.
me?
I'm not.
Cool, don't preach on my streets, coward, until
With
you're ready
all
to
of my
debate me.
life,
Do you understand what I
and it
just
was
told
the
you?
demon of
These are
marijuana.
my streets.
It
These
was
are
the
my
demon of
streets. Do you
marijuana.
understand what I'm
It
saying to
controlled
me?
when I ate.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
controlled
Are you
when I
from
ate.
Denver?
I
It
already told you no.
controlled.
Go home.
When I
Take
slept,
your
I
lies
couldn't sleep without
home.
it.
Do you
and I
hear
actually
me?
thought that
Do
it
you
made me
hear
sleep
me?
better.
Have you
am.
heard me?
But it didn't.
Have you
I'd have
heard
to
me?
wake
I
up
am going
every
home
2
soon.
hours.
No, don't preach in
and
my
take a
streets
couple
between
hits
now and
to go
then.
back
You
to
leave,
sleep,
you
otherwise
take
I'd
your
be
lies
tossing
with
and
you.
turning.
Have you heard
I was
me?
I was
I heard you, but I
scared
will not
for
listen
my
to you.
life.
Will
to
you
get that
debate
up.
me?
Listen to
I
God.
know you won't
I was
listen to me because
scared
you're a
for my
coward.
life.
Will you debate
to
me?
give it
Are
up
you
to
John?
Jesus.
Are you
But I
John?
tell you now, He set me
Are
free,
they on
and
your
I'm not
team?
lying
Where
to
is
anybody
John?
here. I'm not lying to
Where is
anybody
John?
here.
John, I'm
Jesus
here
Christ,
to debate you. You're
He
3
sets
hours
people
late,
free.
and you're not at
Jesus
the
Christ,
four
He
agreed
sets
upon
people free from all
location.
demonic
Steve,
powers.
explain yourself. Explain what you've communicated to me. You texted
Hey.
me that I didn't check in with you to,
How about you
to,
read
to
it, man?
see.
Here, read it to
Not
us.
me.
You want to read it on the mic?
But
Go ahead.
what I
That
did,
number reaches me, Joseph, and John.
and that's your problem, right? Not mine.
Whatever.
It is. No, not whatever.
Yeah.
Not whatever. Let's find the way to save you from the slavery you're in. Let's talk
Not
about
slave.
salvation topics. Are you a slave to the Bible? Are you a slave to Jesus?
Yes, I am.
Are you a slave to
Yes.
Jesus? I can free you from that slavery.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Hey, I'm
If you
talking to
listen
everybody,
me,
man.
the more you listen
You're
to me,
being
the more I'll
convicted
free you.
right now.
That's
So
not
why don't
true.
you listen to me?
you
Or
just
are you
read it to me.
afraid?
You just
Or are
read it
you
to me.
all
You need
afraid?
to
Is
know
this live?
that any good deed
How
that
many
you do
people are watching?
means absolutely
How many people are
nothing
watching?
if you do not give your life to Jesus.
Are they
They're
talking
called
to me?
empty works, man.
Are they talking
empty
to me?
works. They're called
When
dead
they talk
works.
to me, will you pass their messages
No,
on?
I tell you now that Jesus Christ is
Yeah, you
trying
will.
to
Because
speak
you're
to your
nothing
heart.
right now. You're
Soften
just a
your heart,
messenger,
man.
right? So do your
Soften
job.
your heart.
Hold the cameraman.
Jesus
And
Christ.
tell
you
them
read
what
it
they
to me
say
just
to me.
now, man.
Yeah? When are we going to debate?
How many people have you
Next
given the
Saturday?
gospel today?
You
You never want to debate me, right?
What do you want to debate
It's not
about?
about
I want to debate about
outside,
whether
bro.
or not
It's
you are
about
a slave.
the soul.
Cool.
to Jesus Christ.
Cool.
It's
And
about
whether or
the
not I
soul.
can
Hey
save
guys,
you.
we're out of here. We
You
love
cannot.
you.
Cool, I wanna
Jesus
debate
Christ
that.
loves you, man.
Okay.
God bless you.
Next
Kay, I love
Saturday.
you. I truly do. That's the
I'm
only
not
reason we
doing. I'm
came
not.
out.
So you
Listen,
don't
like
want
I
to debate.
said-
So why did you answer
Cool, man.
affirmative to the first
God-
questions? I just really want to know, Steve.
Everything.
Why did you
Listen,
say all
coming.
those
Praise
affirmatives?
God. Hallelujah. I
You
can't
know
wait
we're going to end
to
up
heaven, man.
debate. That
Yes,
was
you
in
are.
high school.
You are here.
That
No.
was in high
No,
school.
that's real life.
No, that
no,
was
no,
in
no,
high
no, no,
school,
no. It's
Mitchell.
real life,
Mitchell.
Steve. You and I
Mitchell.
are
That is
coward.
Hey,
Coward.
Hey,
Coward.
That's how you
Debate
do.
me.
I get
Debate
it.
me.
I get
You
it.
don't get anything.
That's how you
don't
do.
understand this
you
at
try
all.
to overtalk
I don't
everybody.
try. Are you ready
and then
to
you call
continue our
everyone
conversation? Are you ready?
cowards.
Are you ready to continue our conversation?
I love you, man.
Are you not ready to
now you're
continue?
gonna start yelling at me.
I'm not yelling at you, Joseph.
All right.
Have
Hey,
you
me and
answered
you
my
are
question?
cool. Let's
No, we're not
let's
cool.
not
I'm
go
really
outside
upset
of
with you,
that.
Joseph. I'm really upset with
Really?
you now.
You said
Yes.
you weren't.
We were cool until today. Do you understand what you've done to me today?
I haven't done anything.
You have, Joseph.
Jonathan
said
said
I
he
did
spoke
too.
to you. Jonathan said he spoke to you.
Did Jonathan speak to me?
And he told you that Russell canceled out.
Russell did cancel out.
So they postponed it to next weekend.
Russell postponed to next weekend, and I will debate Jonathan with that monitor next weekend. But then I said to you during your live streams yesterday around 6 o'clock, if you guys are
didn't see
still... Well, he thumbs up it. So did you see it? At 6 o'clock last night when I said, if you still are going to be preaching at 12 o'clock, I'd really still like to see you and debate you. And you gave it a thumbs up. Cool. So when you say I didn't get in touch with you, that's not quite accurate, right?
Hey,
you're
how
using
about
very
this?
extreme language.
You know,
right?
we can go
Thank
down
you.
here and have a conversation.
Let's
if
have
we
a conversation.
Do it good, and we get back
Was
in
last
the bounds.
week good?
Yeah,
was the
and
week
I feel
before
like
that
we've been
good?
growing into like a friendship.
So did
type
I
deal.
until today, Joseph. So
Well,
did I
see,
until
but-
today.
See, you
So did
felt
I.
that way, but I didn't know anything about it.
Cool, because
So
we
are
are
we
having
cool
a hard
now?
time communicating, but now we are here face to face, and we should be able to overcome it.
Yeah,
but
right.
Steve still is being sort of like defensive and giving me half answers because I want to debate Steve as well.
Insulting us as if we're pieces of shit, homie.
No,
So we're
hey,
gonna
I love
you
you.
know us.
I'm not insulting.
No, you are insulting
How
all
did
of
I
us.
insult you?
You're annoying us with this fucking camera. Did he tape us?
How did I insult you?
This is live streaming.
The
He's
reason
live
we
streaming.
do
No, you
live
are
stream
insulting us, homie.
is
Do you think
for
we want to sit
protection.
here?
Are you live
Do
streaming?
think we want to sit here and hear this?
Are you live
That
streaming?
shit, come on, baby.
How many viewers do you have?
Yeah, we know God loves us. Dude,
If they're talking to me, will you pass their messages on?
Rude and annoying what you're doing right
didn't do
here.
If they want to talk to me, will you pass their messages on
how
to me?
come-
How
How come some
Coward.
people accept
You come to my city with this weak sauce? I know.
against Jesus.
Because Jesus is a lie. Have you read my sign?
Not a liar.
Cool. You're preaching that in
was
my
a few
streets, and it's
people,
not
man.
true, and
There
I'd
was
like
a
to
few
debate you
people,
about
at least
it.
a few
But you're too
people.
afraid to
The
debate me.
spaghetti monster
Even though-
is not.
You know what Jesus said? He said
Have I
that
said
those who
anything about
find the
the spaghetti
gospel
monster?
unattractive,
Cool,
heard
let's
from the
debate.
last time.
Let's
they're perishing.
debate. You came
He
to
said
my
those
town
who
where
find
we
the
were doing
gospel
debates,
unattractive
and yet
are perishing.
you think you can
So
get
this
away
is
with not
something
debating me? You
to-
saw it before you got here, right? You saw what we do here in Denver, right?
So
We
look,
debate in the
guys,
streets.
we love yous. Remember,
And then you
we love
came
yous. We
here,
were
didn't
not
you?
here to talk down on
So
anybody.
debate me in
Like
my
I said,
streets.
I didn't come here
I'm
to
one
debate.
of the
That
worst
is-
men
well,
out here.
Well,
I'm one of the worst men
serendipitously,
out here.
this is what
I
we do.
deserve
So
to
if
die
you
more
want to
than
do it like we
anybody
do
out
it
here.
in Denver,
We're not
But
debating
Jesus
I know
Christ
you're
is
not
able.
debating because you're a coward. Debate
I
me
love
today,
you guys.
coward.
You want name calling?
When are we? It's not name calling. I'm pointing out that you're afraid to
Hey,
debate me.
so like
Yeah.
I said, let's get back into the, almost friends.
I'd like to
mode.
debate the person here who's from out of state.
What about me? You said you wanted to talk to me.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to debate a lot of people. I'd like to debate Steve if he would debate me today.
we can set
I'd
that
like to
up.
debate the visitor because he is only here for a short amount of time, and I'd very much like to continue our debate. I'd also like to debate John if he's here, and he'd like to do it without a moderator. So I'm open
yeah.
to lots of options.
Yeah, he's coming. He's on his way.
Cool. So
That
maybe
can
I'll talk to
happen a
him.
lot, yeah.
Right. But
So-
since we couldn't get in touch with each other and meet each other at 12 o'clock, I'm very late for some stuff.
Praise God. Hallelujah.
That sounds like your shill. I think I've seen him before. Yeah.
So yeah, we can go have a conversation.
Okay.
You want to go do it at 16th Street Mall?
No, we can do it wherever you want, but I only have about half an hour left, and I might be called away. We can do it here if you like.
I don't know if they would like us here, man.
We can do it to the streams at this location. We don't have to do it through the microphone. We can do it in front of our live audiences.
You want to go do it maybe in the park over there?
We can. My car is parked right over here, and this is where I'd like to
Well,
be.
let's go right in front of your car then.
We can do it wherever you want, and we can do it in front of these streams. This is a lovely lovely location. I don't think these people are going to bother us if we're not on the loudspeaker. But if you wanted to be on the loudspeaker, you can go across. There's a Ten Commandments monument right there. We can do it right in front of the Ten Commandments monument.
Yeah, let's go do that.
We can. That's a good option.
Hey, reason is I want it on the speaker because
I understand.
we don't have that cool little recorder.
No, and I'm not trying to take from you anything you want. I think that we all can get what we want out of this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I want your soul, man. I want your soul won to Jesus Christ.
Cool.
I want to see you in the kingdom.
I think that you'll agree that I am attempting to listen to you, and if you have a persuasive argument, I think you can persuade me. I think my mind is open.
Praise God.
Thank you.
He has said. Hallelujah.
So we can set that up whenever you want. I'm not trying to rush you. You can finish up here or whatever.
No, we're done.
We're done.
Okay.
Let's go to the Ten Commandments. I don't even know where those are at.
They're right there. We can see them from here, right in front of the bus, right there. You see them?
Oh yeah. Cool. All right, cool. Let's go.
Hey, let's go, guys.
Yeah. Oh, look at.
We got one.
Nice. I like it.
took the idea with you.
Hey.
We're learning from you, man.
No. And for really, I really like street preaching. Did you get an invitation to that group?
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I haven't had a chance.
So do you know Jesse Morrell?
No, I don't.
Do you know Reuben Israel? Reuben Israel?
Oh yeah, Reuben. Yes.
Jesse Morrell is sort of in his style, and so that's his sort of group. He goes around a lot. He does some Alaska stuff. He's got a lot of YouTube sort of sway or whatever.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, do check it out.
I saw that I got invited, but
Yeah.
I've been bland. We are on it.
Hey. No. You guys work hard. Like I understand. No. I understand that this is your hobby space and that you do give it a lot of hours.
But I saw the invite.
Cool. Yeah, check it out. There's, it's more your speed than me. I'm sort of the intruder there. So, yeah. But my point about that is, I love street preaching as an art form, as a part of human expression and communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to join that group either, man.
No, check it out.
I like to look things out before I join. I haven't got a chance to look it up.
No, but for really,
What's it all about?
it is a. Do you know Jesse Morrell?
Well, I think I haven't met
Cool.
a friend yet.
Yeah, it's his group, and it's sort
I
of.
didn't even know this was here.
Yeah, it's been here since the 50s or 60s.
And I'm born and raised here.
Yeah. This is a Denver thing we're doing, eh? You and Joseph as well. Are you a Denver kid?
Why is that on there, though?
I know, that's the Freeman Illuminati.
Cool. I came here in 14, and I very much appreciate the warm welcome I've received from Denver. Denver's a great city.
Where are you from? I didn't even.
I moved around a lot. I was raised. My high school years were in Southern California, so that's sort of what I say. But we came here in 14 rather, and Denver's embraced us. Denver's a great city, and I like the debates in the street we're doing, and I think Denver should get some of the credit. Just call out to it right when we're doing the debates.
Hey, I already told him you can be one of the biggest stars in his eyes, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, all he's got to do is convince me. I don't have my tripod today. I am.
Want me to hold yours?
I'm walking light. I do. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Let me. Hopefully, I have 2 mics.
I can. You can. I'll use this. I'm cool. With this.
Oh, I do got one.
Well, hey, when he answers, I think you should, because people actually love to listen to the debate, bro.
Yeah.
Check one. Check.
Turn it on.
Roger.
How's your daughter doing, man?
1, 2.
She good?
She is good. She's. I haven't seen her there in a couple of days. She's at like a 5-day sleepover right now.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Praise God, she's doing good.
I think that's me.
No, it's probably me. I just hit on.
Check. Oh, Roger.
Cool.
Roger. Tuesday is the name of my son.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wow.
It seems like we did not get corona, so he had a fever, but many of the other symptoms were off. So we've concluded that
You were
perhaps
sniffling last time.
that wasn't it. I have chronic sinus situations, and I don't really take anything for it. So cold weather, always nails me. I did, however, have like a headache, perhaps Monday or Tuesday. I don't feel like it. Check. Don't feel like it was corona related though.
So go ahead and start, man.
All right, and so our audience is this audience here. It will stick around. I'll be streaming here. Anyone that passes by, we don't want to block the walkway though.
Yeah.
We want to check.
So let's not block the walkways, just in case.
And so yeah, I appreciate that. This is sort of a walkway, and we don't want to. And I'm just sort of checking the sort of space we have here to talk within without hitting those reverbs, eh? It's I could go quieter on this if it's too loud.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Go louder if anything.
Okay. All right. Roger. Yeah. So what? We don't have a moderator today. Our moderator. Felt that the weather was too chilly. It snowed just the other day, and respect that sort of thing. Couldn't get a moderator in short notice. Also, I've got just a short amount of time here. I need to go check some stuff at 4 o'clock and check to see if I have to leave. What time is it now?
I don't know.
Cool. And so, if anybody in the chat,
342.
342, it's going to be very short. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Let's get started. Yeah.
Who told you Jesus lied?
I decided myself. I looked through the book and I checked it against my sort of definition of what a lie is, and I was like, well, that thing seems sort of disingenuous, or that thing seems like he's obscuring the truth intentionally, and that thing in the Old Testament seems like he straight up confesses that he lies. So as far as like who, myself, after I read the Bible. Does that answer your question?
I mean, kinda, yeah. Yourself told you that Jesus lied
Yes.
after reading the book.
Affirmative.
Okay, so can you explain to me any instances where he might have lied?
Yeah. We can go over a couple. I just wonder, though, what you're going to do with them after I give you instances. I'm afraid what you're going to say is that the way that I understand it is not the way that you would understand it. But that's not really what it's about. Not which ones hit my sort of defense mechanisms, but how often Jesus was tempting my defense mechanisms, bumping into that area of like, this is a very gray area that Jesus is in when he's the white and black sort of guy. And for him to keep so many things a secret, especially if we're going to take Mark's version of things at his word, it seems like every time he did a miracle, he turned to that person and said, tell no one. I'm not at all sure how he can say that and then say to the high priest, whether it be Ananias or Caiaphas, in John, that he always spoke openly in public, and that everything that he said, he either said in a temple or a synagogue. And I see all his secret meetings sort of not fitting that explanation. And so there, you goaded one out of me, and I think we're going to know what you're going to do with that. You're going to say if we read this passage in the Old Testament, or we cross-reference this, we can see it both ways, and that way we get to decide whether or not that was a lie. But I don't think those kinds of mental aerobics, acrobatics, should be necessary with the image of perfection.
I definitely hear what you're saying about that, but I actually have another question for you.
Sure.
You seem like honestly, bro, man, you've actually seemed like one of the most intelligent men that I've actually had a conversation with the past year or two.
That is kind of you to notice.
So being that you do
sad
seem
that I read
pretty
the Bible.
intelligent, don't you think, because I'll agree with it, is that sometimes we can see something or read something from one angle, and we can jump to a conclusion, and then from a different angle was a totally different thing. Like, I want to give an example, just so you know clearly what I'm asking. is say that there was a lady that was crossing this street right here, and she had a purse on. I've seen this example, and I know it's God-given. She had a purse on her shoulder, but I went into the street and I pulled her purse. From one angle, it would look like I'm purse robbing, but from another angle, it could have been because a car was coming and was about to hit her. So sometimes when we see something from one angle, and it can even go in this example, research, we can research something and see only one angle, and then just basically jump to conclusion. Am I right that we can sometimes do that as humans?
Oh, you absolutely are. Like many of us do this. We're very prone to this. Like this is my argument against people who look at the Quran and say, if you're willing to let your mind go through these sort of contortions, you can get it to mean anything. So, like when it says in the Quran that Muhammad split the moon in half, and you say to them, it's weird that no one else in the world noticed that. And they say, well, you know, and they'll talk about it, and they'll look at it from their presupposed point of view and achieve the answer that they were looking for anyway. So the answer is yes, we are very capable of doing that.
So both me and you can actually be subject to seeing one type of research. In my case, I'm believing in what the Word of God says and what it, like word for word, and what it literally means. I can be wrong, but also you, the statements that you have made, because you have already said that I was going to actually do that and say like, hey, maybe you saw this wrong. And so both of us, I mean, in all reality, can be looking at this. One of us can be wrong, or maybe both of us.
That's a very good point. In fact, both of us being wrong is much more likely than just one of us being wrong, even our current situation, with our understanding of our religions as far as they are, even though we both are quite intelligent people and have spent a long time studying the books. We both should pretty much expect that we're wrong.
And hey, yeah, exactly. But we both believe that, you know, we're pretty secure in the truth that we believe in. You believe in the truth, right?
I believe in truth.
And I believe in the truth. You know,
You believe that Jesus is the truth.
yeah, exactly. And so, in the end, one of us is gonna be wrong. Maybe both of us. But see, here's the thing: is where I'm going at with this is we'll get on to what you said, but I just want to kind of go off of our last discussion.
Yes.
That last question, you said that the Word of God was lying because of one gospel saying that the land was the Pharisees owned the land, and then one gospel saying that Judas owned the land.
Yeah, but my argument is basically when we look at the when we believe the Gospels were written, it goes sort of Mark, and then 15 years later, Luke and Matthew wrote theirs about the same time, and they both seem to have Mark as a reference. They had quite a bit of Mark in there, so they both seem to be aware of it. And then 15 years later, John does his, and it's very John's is very impressive relative to the others. And so if I was to compare that to like sort of movie franchises, it's sort of like an early Batman that's all rough sketchy, and then in the middle of it, that's when Matthew and Luke disagree about a couple things. Not only Jesus' grandfather, I think they disagree about, but they also disagree about what happens to Judas, and that was a question that was around for 15 years before those Gospels showed up. What happened to Judas? What happened to Judas? And it seems like two different people came up with two different answers to that. One of them said he got the money right back to the priest and said, I can't accept this money, it's disgusting, and he threw it down. And then the priest saw the money on the ground and said, well, we can't spend it, it's blood money, so take it and go buy food. But another account sort of like explains it differently, where Judas takes the money and he leaves, and he's overcome with anguish, and he seems to kill himself in the field that he already bought. And so it's not so much how he died, because I can do the hanged and fell out and his guts spilled out, but I really can't understand who purchased the land with the money.
Yeah, and so that's where we have to do our research. You know, and sometimes I admit it, I can post something on Facebook that I didn't really look into, and I'm trying my hardest to not do that anymore. But you know, we do have to research these types of things, because then we can find a real viable answer. You know, and the answer to that is that Judas bought the field with the money, and he went and threw the money back. And the Pharisees said they couldn't take blood money, but you see, the Pharisees, it wasn't that they went and bought the land with the money. It was they said that we can keep the land because it's not blood money. The law was that you couldn't keep blood money. Now there was a big difference between blood money and, I mean, we can look at it as blood land, right? They were able to keep the land, and so they kept it selfishly. They didn't keep it like because they wanted to see if they can keep it. They said, actually, you know, according to some historical writers, that they were happy to keep the land because they got to keep it. They got to keep the land and, you know, still get Jesus. You know, and so like with the money, they didn't keep the money. They couldn't. It was against the law. You know, so I mean, when you research that though, you see that and you can say, man, there's a good possibility that is the truth. You know, and that's why the Gospels would kind of, you know, maybe say different things, because you have two different people telling two different angles of what they saw, which, you know, even in the court system right now, a crime's committed and you can have 50 witnesses all tell all different stories, but when you put them all together, you can get the big picture, you know, most of the time.
I agree. And if we take all of the stories about Batman and we put them all together, we can also get a bigger picture of who Bruce Wayne is. We can get another facet of that character and sort of the long suffering that he does for the city of Gotham, which I can say is the city of New York. They used to call it the Gotham City. But none of this evidences for Batman. And in fact, they're flaws of a sort of iterative way of entertaining and communicating. And so, I'm not saying you can't find an answer. In fact, like I said it at the beginning. Do you know what the Hadith is? Do you know what the Hadith is? Okay. What time is it?
That's about 3:55.
3:55. I'm going to talk about the Hadith, and then I'm going to check my car, which I realise is on that street, not that one. I'm going to go check my car, and then maybe I'll come back.
Alright, hey, if you ain't back in about 10 minutes, we'll continue next week. Jonathan here, he promises no cancellations next week.
Oh, don't worry about it, Jonathan, at all. Yeah. No, I should have got in touch with you on Facebook, I think. Yeah. We were trying communication networks that didn't work, yeah.
So we'll preach here, and then if you ain't back in about 20, we're going to go to 16.
Roger. Okay, so the Hadith is the, you know the Quran?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the Quran is claimed to have been spoken by Muhammad. And so, any stories that we have about Muhammad that weren't spoken by Muhammad are not the Quran, the Hadith.
Crazy horse.
But the Hadith is the group of stories that grew up around Muhammad, especially after he died. And so you can create a Hadith around the scripture, but your claim isn't if we search deep enough we can find answers, because unfortunately that methodology is available to people who are not wrong. We're talking here. Can we help you? Hey, Crazy Horse. I think I've met you before. I'd shake your hand, but it's not really time for that. We're about to wrap up here. Do you mind if we take about 5 minutes to talk here, and then we'll talk to you?
Yeah, I'll talk to you right after him, man. Okay? 5 minutes.
Yeah. So you can hadiths are creatable, and so and I'm not saying I don't accept your answer. What I'm saying is, let's start counting how many times we have to refer to the hadith to resolve something that looks like it's a contradiction. When we're looking at a book that claims to be perfect, why must we require a hadith? That is one of the weaknesses of the Quran, and it seems like you've just sort of done that there. It's like, if we do our research. And so I'm not saying I reject it. I'm saying let's count how many times it's evidence for just a misunderstanding or an unclearness in the translation, but also sort of like a question of, but was this popular fiction of the time? Were people taking this seriously, like Batman? Are we in danger of that? So that's the hadith.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. You know, I mean that's what we do. That's what we do. We, you know, we as humans, we are going to put our faith in something. We're going to put our hope in something, and so, you know, as for me, I receive that just as for you, you receive many things that you've read to be true, and so, you know, I guess we both can do that, actually. You know?
Yes, and I think that we both should do that as we continue to have our conversations. I think we're doing very good. I'm glad to see you guys again this Saturday. Thank you very much.
See you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, take care.
You as well.
Yeah.
You as well. Stay healthy, yeah?
Yes.
See you soon.
too, bro.
I might be back. Maybe not.
Oh, Mitch, you're back.
Yeah, I've got an unknown amount of minutes.
Oh, man, I gotta take them to pee real quick.
Understandable, no rush.
Mitch is back.
I'm back. We could talk, John, if you want. I'd really love to talk to the visitor. The traveller. I'd really still love to talk to you about how there's no such thing as coincidence, and you were brought to our town because we do street debates. I was talking to our friend from Idaho. Iowa, my apologies. I get Iowa, Idaho, and Ohio all mixed up always. I was telling him that seems like maybe it's just coincidence that he's here today when we usually do debates, but you know, some of us don't believe in coincidence, so maybe...
Brother, they call me Crazy Horse, no good guy.
They call me Schizophrenic Mitch. They call me a devil and a demon.
We got ourselves Catholic 10 Commandments here.
We do. You see all that?
These, for your information, were put here, I believe, in the 60s during when the Ten Commandments movie was made.
When the what?
Ten Commandments movie was made with Charlton Heston.
Oh, Heston, yeah.
So during that time in the, I believe, early 60s, they put out hundreds of these and sort of gave them to cities as advertisement for that film. And sort of through the Eagles group. I don't know who the Eagles are, whether they've like changed into the Rotary, the Elks, or whatever. The Freedom from Religion Foundation's been trying to move it from this spot since 1982. They feel like it violates the First Amendment. How do you feel about that?
What's that? The First Amendment?
If this Lincoln Park is public, do you think that this is a violation of the First Amendment?
Honestly, man, I mean, if they wanted to, they could take it. It's just, it's material.
Yeah.
To me.
If the argument is let's move it to public land, are you with us with that? I mean, let's move it from public land to like a private location. Would you sign that petition? Would you help us with that effort?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, it's, you know, I agree, man. There's a lot of symbolic stuff there, Freemasonry and Catholicism and, you know, all that stuff. But it's, hey, it might touch somebody, man. I mean, I got started off with Christ at a very lukewarm, now mega church here in Colorado,
and you are a son of Denver, as we said earlier. This is your town.
This
You're a
is
son of
my
Denver as
hood.
well.
Huh?
Were you born in Denver?
Yeah, I was born in Denver, but I grew up in Florida.
Okay, I got you.
Where are you from?
I'm from around. I went to high school in Los Angeles. I came to Denver in 2014, and I've been embraced quite warmly. Denver's a great city.
Except for the sin.
Well, I mean, they all do have that. Judging it comparatively, there's not much wrong with Denver. I mean, the snow I could do without, but you know, I like the history and the.
So who are you debating with, Brother John or Joseph?
Whoever. We can. I don't see either. We can talk to whomever, and I could be waved down at any time. I'm waiting on sort of a call. Someone said, let's meet after 4. So we're just waiting until they text me, and then I'll get a signal over here that it's time for me to go. So whoever'd like to, we can just have a conversation about where we want this sort of thing to go. Because I think 2 hours every week in good faith and have a good debate is something that we can give to Denver. I think it is something because
people do like it,
and I think if they don't, we can move it into the thing that people like, right? A thing that people will be like, I wonder what happened in Denver this week. And when we say to them, it's going to be Dominic, is that right?
Yeah.
It's going to be Dominic and me on April 20th. Or when we say that Kerrigan Skelly might be back here to preach against the 420 festival that's going to be happening right there in about a month.
Yeah,
I'm going to be there to talk to Kerrigan Skelly. And I'd like you to be there to be like, no, this is Mitch. Here's what we do in Denver. Now, I'm not saying you have to fucking, pardon me. The kids are gone, my apologies. I'm not saying you have to rep me, but I am saying, let's this be what we do in Denver. Let's talk, right?
Talk is good. Talk is very good. I mean, it of course, you know, I mean, it settles things. It calms, you know, it brings peace.
In this time where we as a nation seem to be seeing the things that divide us, I think that this doesn't have to be that. I think it can be a thing where we actually are discovering the things that we have in common and that we can walk forward to. And if you're like, this has turned into a thing that's meant to divide people,
yeah, I mean,
that's
dude,
not my intent at all.
We have conversations with people that always come up to us all the time that debate what we're saying. And you know, if the good news is many times we walk away shaking hands and say we agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. Adios, amigo.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. And I think cultivating the tools that get us to those positions are what the First Amendment sort of challenges us to do.
Hey, did you guys know that those are the Catholic 10 Commandments?
I didn't realize that when I was videotaping.
Yeah.
Which, what is the difference? Which one are they?
They've changed the commandments, the original
idol one, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Second commandment's gone.
And of course they have the two false stars of David, and they have the pyramid up there.
You would remove the idol one on the literally graven image of it, wouldn't you? Though?
Yeah, that's how the Catholics work.
Yeah, exactly.
They couldn't have all the
right, and that laugh that you had right there is the sort of sarcasm that I'm looking for in the whole thing. That sort of what a ridiculous game we're playing.
Hey man, I'm sorry to say, but we actually have to go.
Understandable. We were just talking about what we thought of this. I might be called away at any point as well. We wouldn't want to start any formal debate anyway.
We are going to be here tomorrow if you would like to have a discussion.
I'm going to try to keep it to like one day a week out in public.
Gotcha.
So
next weekend.
I really would like to see you next weekend. I love Fridays. I'd like to do it on Fridays, but if you're like, we're always on the mall at noon on Saturdays, that's where I'll be too.
Okay.
And you know, you can preach. I can talk to somebody else over here.
Yeah.
I really think that we all can get, when we put it on the table, this is what I want out of this, and I'm not doing it unless this. I think everyone can put all of theirs on the table. I think that's how communication works.
Yeah.
So I want to show that I'm a good faith conversationalist to you, so that if you ever say it to Kerrigan Skelly when he comes on 420, you can be like, no, this is schizophrenic Mitch. He's from here. Like, he might look crazy, but we debate him. So he has a question for you. We've been wondering what your answer might be.
Okay.
But you don't have to do it this year. I'm not saying shill for me right now.
No,
I'm saying
I
this is the
honestly,
conversation we're having in Denver.
I know I will.
And when they come here, no offense.
He's been in good faith, you know, coming and you know, when y'all first met, it's let's put it this way, compared to what you got when y'all first met to where you're at now, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I personally think that peace is the ultimate goal. I mean, like I told him, I said, bro, you know what? I said, even if at the end of the day you still do not believe in Jesus Christ, we still love you, and we could just walk away and shake each other's hands and at peace. You know what I mean?
Right. But I want to be clear that I don't want to walk away. I want us to have a conversation weekly that maybe we can do for about a year, and we don't have to like think of each other every week, and we don't have to call each other everything, but like you call up and you be like, I'm missing it, it's fine, we'll find something else. But like I want to like you guys live stream. I want people at 12 o'clock on Saturday to be like, I wonder what they're doing in Denver. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, bro. That honestly, I mean, even the people that follow you on your channel and stuff, I mean, they'll tune in.
Yeah.
Our people tune in.
Cool. The way that game works as well. Yeah. Cross-pollination is a very, very strong thing. Yeah.
Sounds
Cool.
good, man.
Yeah. And so I appreciate that that you understand the parts of this that I am serious about. I understand that I appreciate
Yeah, I appreciate
that you understand that I'm serious, and because a lot of people are like, you know what? As soon as I get rid of you, I'm just going to write you off and not think about the things that you said that actually made sense.
Yeah.
Because I say crazy things, I say things that aren't crazy. That's how I see you too, and so that's what we got to work through, and we can. So so I'm going to head out because.
Yeah, sorry.
But
Let's do that, brother.
Yeah. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it, and I like Denver for what we can do here. Yeah.
All right, man, take care.
Yeah, see you soon.
Isaiah, you better get out of that bathroom, boy. Isaiah.